Welcome to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. If you're unaware what this subreddit is, it's basically stories about encounters with rude parents that think the world owes them everything because they have kids. So sit back, relax, and let's get annoyed. Entitled mom tries to take my toy for her son. Doesn't believe me when I say it's $70. Gets owned by anime fan. This just happened today, so details are fresh in my mind. Let's meet the cast. Me, entitled mother, entitled kid, epic anime fan, my Nico Yazawa Nendoroid. Here's a little backstory. I'm a huge fan of the anime Love Live, and had ordered a Nico Yazawa Nendoroid 3 weeks ago, and it arrived yesterday. I took it to school today to flex it on my friends, and so left school feeling happy. Now to get home from my school, you gotta take a bus to the interchange, from where you can take the MRT or the LRT. I take the LRT, and it's rather small. The LRTs are quite crowded at this time. I get on the LRT, find a seat, and take out my Nendoroid. It is really cute, so I just like to look at it. Here's where the fun starts. Enter the woman of the hour, entitled mom, accompanied by her charming baby boy, entitled kid. Side note, entitled mom's English isn't that good, so I'll fill in and take out words where I find necessary. Entitled kid immediately starts bawling because of how crowded the LRT was. Entitled mom was trying to calm him down, but nothing was working. She gave him Oreos, which he tossed away. She gave him her phone, which he also tossed on the ground. Now I was observing this kid for a while, and I was feeling positively sorry for the woman, until Nico-chan caught his eye. He was immediately silent, arms stretching for Nico. I knew what he was up to, and I hid Nico in my jacket pocket. Not before entitled mom saw though. Side note, entitled kid started whining as soon as I put him in my pocket. Entitled mom, what's that? Pardon me? What did you just put away? Oh, this is my new toy. As soon as I took it out, entitled kid was silent again, arms stretching for Nico. Entitled mom, can you give it to my boy? What, my toy? No, I'm sorry, but this cost me $70 online. This was true, as they stopped making them around 4 years ago. Don't lie to me. Anyway, just give it to him for a little while. He won't break it. No, I'm sorry, this really was $70. I waited 3 weeks for it, and I'm not going to give it to you because your son will throw it. At this point, entitled mom is turning red. Asian parents are easy to annoy. Stop lying! Is this how you talk to your parents? The entitled kid, who was still reaching for Nico as we were talking, started bawling immediately as his mom started shouting. Entitled mom, look what you've done! You've made him cry! I roll my eyes and cross the compartment to sit on the other side. But as I'm walking, this charming woman grabs my backpack by the handle on the top, which they all have. Give my boy your toy now! Enter epic anime fan, a tall teenage girl in the 9th grade. We talked later on. My hero. Let go of him. He's not lying. The toy really is the price he said it was. It's a limited edition toy, and if your son breaks it, you'll have to pay this boy the full money. And judging by how you look, you won't be able to afford half the price. Now leave OP alone, or I'll call the police on you. Entitled mom looked stunned. Her face was red. She stormed off the LRT at the next stop, muttering angrily about young people these days, while I stood there with a crap-eating grin on my face. Turns out epic anime fan was also a Love Live fan. We talked for a while before my stop came. It was the next stop, and I thanked her for helping me out of that one. She said it was no big deal, so I went home and sat down on my computer to type this. You're raising a prisoner! Background: I worked a decade in law enforcement as a CCO, Custodial Correction Officer, in Australia. I work in high security prisons, what Americans would refer to as a max. For the most part, I was on the coalface, meaning the toughest parts of the prison, where we had to deal with the largest units and worst offenders. I was known as Red Beard by the Crims, our nickname for the inmates, and I had a reputation for being tough but fair. In the last few years before I retired, we began getting a lot of a new type of prisoner, all young, spoiled kids who never learned the word no. These kids were in prison simply because their parents had let them get away with appalling behavior as kids, and they never learned better. It might have been cute when they didn't get what they wanted as a 3-year-old and threw a tantrum, But it's not cute when they're 19 and don't get what they want. Say, for example, and act the same way. It was a constant source of frustration that we had to teach these entitled brats the basic manners that their parents should have instilled at the age of 3. So you'll understand why this has become something of a personal issue for me. On to the story. So I was in the shops a few weeks ago getting the fortnight's groceries. There are often parents there with crotch goblins, but the one I encountered this day was in a league of his own. This kid, guessing 6 to 8 years old, was literally tearing up the place, running down the aisles, pulling things off the shelves, ramming into people, trying to take things from people's carts, throwing things from the shelves, and screaming his little lungs out at the joy of it all. His mother did precisely nothing about this. Other shoppers complained to her, the staff complained to her, nothing. She claimed it was just a phase he's going through like all kids. She didn't even try to rein him in, nor clean up the mess he made. He then came for my cart. Now I'm a crusty, old, and rather cranky ex-screw with PTSD. I have a rather short temper with stupid people courtesy of my career. The following exchange took place. Kid runs up, grabs my cart, and starts hauling on it. When I pull it away from him, he screams at me and then tries to climb up into it. Me: "No, get down off the bloody cart and behave yourself." The kid starts screaming and name calling. This brings his mother running. Funny how she wasn't interested before now. Entitled parent: "Don't you dare talk to my child like that. He doesn't know any better." Yes, I can see damn well he doesn't know any better. You need to teach your kid some basic manners. You obviously don't have children. Actually, I have a son a little older than yours, and my child doesn't behave like an animal in public. I'll tell you this, if you don't teach your child some self-restraint, then when he hits adulthood, he'll be heading straight for the prison. Lady, you're raising a prisoner. What? How dare you tell me how to raise my boy? What the hell would you know? Because I've worked as a prison officer for 10 bloody years, and I have a prison full of entitled little craps like your kid. Now show some maturity and do the right thing by your child, you stupid, horrible person, or get ready to only see him during visiting time. Yes, I know, I lost it here. I was indeed very angry. I admit I was probably out of line. Not proud. Sometime during my tirade, the manager had arrived with 2 staff members who had gone to get him when the kid originally started acting up. The entitled parent was flapping her mouth like a fish out of water, trying to find words, and I realized we were standing in a large circle of silent shoppers. I apologized to the manager for making a scene and asked if he wanted me to leave. He said no, but to stay clear of the entitled parent. So I headed off and finished my shopping. From the distance, I saw the manager apparently have stern words with entitled parent and made her pay for all breakages caused by her child. A very sullen and subdued entitled parent then scuttled out of the store. It's a small town, so I have no doubt I'll run into entitled parent again. Sort of looking forward to it. Entitled mom thinks people in wheelchairs are convenient bag holders. Not my story, but I mentioned this subreddit to my girlfriend and she told me this story and thought it would go perfectly here. I talked about it in posts on other subreddits, but she's a C4-5 quadriplegic due to a diving accident last year and can't move anything below her shoulders. She goes to weekly physical therapy appointments at a clinic to try to stimulate recovery, which is where this goes down. She and her parents get there a little early and they're inside talking to the doctor while she's using a voice-controlled software on her phone to check messages. The door to the clinic slams and out walks entitled mom and her son, a teenager wearing a Letterman jacket with his arm in a sling, apparently after he had a physical therapy session. Let's meet the cast. Girlfriend, entitled mom, injured kid. So entitled mom comes in hauling a big bag of something for her son, along with her purse. They plunk everything down only a few feet away from where girlfriend has parked her chair. She says the room was near empty, and entitled mom begins loudly fiddling around with the large bag. She drops her purse several times, then turns around to where girlfriend is minding her own business. Entitled mom: "Here, hold this for me a minute." Without waiting for a response, she just drops the purse into girlfriend's lap and turns around before she can react. She can't move her arms to sweep the bag away, and she says she was in shock at the moment. Girlfriend: Excuse me, you can't just put your bag in my lap. Oh, I'll just be a minute. It doesn't matter. Just because I'm in a wheelchair doesn't mean you can drop objects on me. You wouldn't do it to a random person sitting in a chair, would you? Look, don't get politically correct with me. My son is disabled too. Mom, I'm not disabled. I just dislocated my shoulder. Give me the bag. I'll hold it. No, you're injured. It's fine where it is. She's not doing anything. Girlfriend, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Look, take your bag or I'll get my parents over here. Fine, I'm done. Was that so hard? She smirks as she picks up her bag. I bet it felt good to be useful, didn't it? They walk out as injured kid briefly turns back and mouths sorry as they leave. Girlfriend wants it to be known that she has never been so frustrated with her paralysis as when it kept her from slapping entitled mom right in her smug face. Thanks for checking out my video, guys. I hope these stories filled you with all the feels. Also, share this video with a friend, hit that like button, and subscribe if you're new, or a Karen will hide in your closet and stare at you while you sleep.